Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I apologize for the absence and welcome back to another episode of my pickups. Oh boy, it has been incredibly busy, and again, I am sorry for the lack of communication from my part to you. I've been busy both outside of video game collecting, but also in video game collecting. I have quite a bit going on. So, one of the things that I'd like to talk to you about today is a couple of new systems that I was able to get my hands on. You might notice behind me that it's a bit of a mess in this room. I got boxes over here of old PC games that I need to quickly go through today, as well as some other boxes over here that kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about today. Um, so there's this guy. We're going to call him Nick. He is the owner of Retroid Games and Records in near Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And he has been hounding me ever since he found out that I owned a Wii U kiosk from the Starlight Children's Foundation. It's not a kiosk, it's more of a cow, a computer on wheels, where they would wheel this thing in for the kids to be able to play on while they were in the hospital. It meant a lot to me and to have it in my collection just because it was a unique piece. The Wii U was my very first full retail set that I had ever completed. And it was, it was one of those items that I cherished in my collection, but we'll just leave it at Nick can be very persuasive, and he had a couple of systems to offer me in return, as well as a large amount of games. I'm not a systems collector per se. I don't collect systems. I don't collect, accessories or anything of that nature. Here's what I'm going for: the largest video game collection, right? Which means any video game. I need. As many video games as I can get my hands on to get to that Guinness World Record. And I also want at least one system that I can play any game that was ever made for that particular device. Now, do I have more than one system for certain items? Of course I do. I have the dev kit for the GameCube. I have the test system for the PlayStation 3. And those are not considered to be counting towards the Guinness World Record, but it's still really cool to have in my collection. The Starlight Children's Fun Center Wii U was one such device that I really treasure in my collection. But Nick had some items for me that I honestly just couldn't pass up. So as much as I hate to let go of it, and oh, by the way, we made plans that if he ever decides to get rid of it, I get it back. So that's going to happen. So Nick, you're a very persuasive individual, but I still appreciate this trade, and thank you very much. Without further ado, let me go ahead and tell you what two systems I was able to add to my collection, one of which is an Apple IIe. Got from all the way back in 1983, my very first home computer when I was growing up. This particular computer I played, and it was my introduction to at-home computer gaming. I used to play a whole lot of different types of games on this system, and not having one in my collection, I felt like there was a hole there that needed to be plugged. Now I just gotta find the two games that I truly remember playing, Karate, or Karateka as I called it back in the day, and Transylvania. So if I can get my hands on those two, I will be incredibly happy. Still, I was able to get a bunch of games with the Apple II. I'll be showcasing those today. The other one I did not have growing up, but I've been watching a lot of Retro Man Cave recently on YouTube, and he has gotten me into this idea that the Amiga, specifically the A500 machine, which you could see right here, the console's still inside. I still haven't even taken it out and setting it up yet. That's how busy I've been. But I managed to get myself an A500. So, and it came with a RAM expansion pack, and I am very happy to have this in my collection. So, yeah, I know it's going to go into the games room. I've already set up the desk. I just haven't hooked up the actual computers yet. I also got a very nice 13-inch Amiga colored monitor to go with it. I'm actually going to hook that monitor up to both the Apple IIe and the A500 because they use different ports. So I'll be able to just switch back and forth between the source and use that same monitor for both the Apple II and the A500. So really excited to have those two consoles in my collection finally. And I'm gonna have a nice little dedicated retro computer area in my other room, not this room, but the other room, which is literally right next to me. I know it's been a while since I've actually done a tour, speaking of, and that room has changed so much since 2020 when I did my first video game room tour. I need to do another room tour, and I promise to get on that as quickly as I can. But it has changed so drastically since I did that last tour that I just need to get on it. I need to show you guys, but it's not ready. It's not set up yet. Not the way that I truly want. We're almost there. I need to do a couple more things, like get the Apple II and the Amiga set up, and then we'll be ready to go. So patience, please. I beg of you. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get right into the video games that I got along with these two systems. So I'm going to very quickly go through the PC games. There's nothing too exciting here. This is all IBM compatible, so MS-DOS or Microsoft Windows 3.1 or Windows 95 compatible. So the first one being the very first Sims Hot Date expansion pack. That might actually be Windows XP. Whoever Nick got this from, they are a huge pinball fan. You wouldn't believe the amount of pinball games that are in this collection. We got Silver Ball here. We got 8-Ball Deluxe Pinball. There we go. A little bit better. That's for the IBM Tandy. We got a big box version of Monopoly and a couple of the first Sims expansion packs. Good grief. It's like I'm piling them up in your face. I apologize for that. Alright, so we got those out of the way. Go ahead and get through the rest of these. I remember this being on the Sega Genesis. So it's kind of cool to see a big box PC version. It's Hardball 3. And like I said, whoever owned these games, not only were they a huge pinball fan, but they also took very good care of their games. To have everything needed to be able to include everything, it's really cool. So it's got all the manuals, it's got all the extras, etc. And that's really exciting. I'm really glad to have this in my collection. That's pretty cool. I really like that. We got Conquer the Skies. It's one of those 4 games in one. So you got Falcon 3.0, Fleet Defender, Gunship 2000, and 1942, the Pacific Air War. Another pinball game from Solid State this time, Crystal Caliburn. All of these big box PC games. I don't know where I'm going to put these guys. I'm going to have to redo my PC section, I think, because it's already pretty full. This one was a pain to try to add to my database. Pinball Fantasies Deluxe PC-ROM from 21st Century. Trying to find just a picture of this game to put on the internet, I had to make my own. Got Pinball Arcade CD-ROM. A game called Flight. This is not Flight Simulator from Microsoft. This is from Sublogic. There you go. Computer Flight. The Computer Flight people, Sublogic. So this is for Windows 95, Windows 3.1, and MS-DOS. This is a CD version. So this, back in the day when you were playing these types of games, you had to be really conscious and deliberate about finding the right media for you. Back in, the early and mid 90s, not everyone had a CD-ROM drive in their PC. You had to be very careful on what you were buying to ensure that you were getting the right media so that you could actually use the software. Another game that I remember, and I think this is from PS1, Pro Pinball from Interplay, which I think is pretty cool. Got a pool game, and look at these absolutely stellar graphics on here. My goodness. With Sound Blaster support. Now that's important, okay? You have to have that Sound Blaster support. A Gottlieb Collection, Royal Flush Pinball, and Pinball Fantasies. So, yep, I'm starting to run out of space, so I'm going to go ahead and take these back. I really don't know where I'm going to put all these. That's going to take some engineering. These out of the way. Goodness. Another PS1 game. That's also a big box PC game, Virtual Pool from Interplay. And this one really struck me. It's the first one I saw. IndyCar Racing from Papyrus. Now, Papyrus was known to make fantastic racing simulators. one that I can remember is NASCAR Racing 2003, where people still look for that game and try and play it today just because of the incredible physics and the realism of that particular title. A lot of people are still playing that game. And some are, arguably say that it's the best oval racing sim out there to date. I've played iRacing. I don't know. To be fair, I have not played NASCAR Racing 2003, but I do own it. So maybe when I get that retro PC set up, I'll finally get it installed on my Windows XP machine. I'll be able to try it out and see what everybody talking about. I also have a Logitech G25 racing wheel. I wonder if that would work on a Windows XP device. More homework. Links to the challenge of golf. PopCap's first. Blockbusters, Bejeweled and Alchemy. From Sierra, big box Sierra games, you gotta love them. This is called 3D Ultra Pinball. There you go, there's that Sierra logo. And then another solid-state pinball game called Looney Labyrinth. So these are all the IBM-compatible PC games that I was able to get from Nick. I got these relatively cheap. But it's still cool to have a big box PC collection because I remember buying a whole heck of a lot of those. So, but now it's time to get into the mix between all of the Amiga games and all the Apple II games that I got. So I'm really excited to showcase some of this stuff for you. We'll start with this one right here, which is probably in the worst shape. And the reason why is because it's not actually a box. It's more of a pamphlet, really. All-in-one miniature golf, 2 discs. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this packaging, but when people are first starting out back in the day, they didn't really have much choice. Not everybody could afford to put it into a standard box size. So a lot of times what you'll see on the older PC games is they'll just be in the Ziploc bag with a manual. You know, a Calibeth started like that. Speaking of, people's first PC games on the Apple II, a Calibeth is one of those games that just started in a Ziploc bag with a manual inside it and a 5 1/4 inch floppy. So to have at least packaging that actually has graphics, has a manual, has representation of the art style that they were going for, and screenshots on the back, that's pretty darn nifty. So, I don't know. But the Amiga version here of Hole-in-One Miniature Golf, and it's a little crunchy. A little. But understandably so. Now, the gentleman that owned this collection, it all came from one person, and he took such good care of his collection. Very happy to own everything that I was able to get. And this counts for both the Apple II as well as the Amiga stuff. It all came from one person. I don't know how Nick got a hold of all of this stuff, but let me tell you, I've done quite a bit of research into finding out what this person liked, why they picked these games over others, etc. And the person that used to own this collection, what a fantastic individual. Mainly because I really enjoy his tastes in video games. The next one, I remember this being a bit of a board game, or at least a card game. It's spelled the same way, it looks like it has the same font. I can't make the ultimate conclusion that the card game and this game are the exact same, but I played the card game, but this looks nothing like the card game. So I don't think so. I don't think so. But he took such good care of his stuff, let me tell you. There's a little pamphlet here with some handwritten notes. I would flip it over, but it actually has his address and information on the other side, and I don't want to do that to him. But the manuals are here, which is really freaking cool. I love it. It's got that textured paper on it as well. It feels almost like a resume paper, if you were to ever print out your resume ever again. But no, this is just really, really nice. I absolutely love this. And then, what's this? Oh, this is probably the receipt. Let me go ahead and check. Yes, and it has his name. He paid $49.95 for this game back in May 13th, 1987 from Triad Computers in North Carolina. I love stuff like this. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But it's got his contact information again. I don't want to show that to you guys. And then the final thing here is a nice little map. Let's see. That's pretty cool. I love it. I think that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Real life screenshots, huh? Interesting. This is what the game actually looks like. So these are the types of graphics that we were working with back in the day. Reminds me a lot of Ultima, let me tell you. Keep bringing up Ultima. Yeah, I'm aware of the whole scandal. A big prominent member of the big box PC collecting community created counterfeit versions of Ultima games. That makes me very sad. Very, very sad. I was very sad to see that story. Ultima being one of my favorite franchises. So, yeah, but Fairy Tail looks freaking awesome. This is interesting. Why is Arkanoid by Taito in a packaging like this? But look at the packaging. Good grief! How cool is that? But notice who actually made this packaging. Discovery Software International. Not Taito. I don't know. I think that's pretty darn cool. Another thing, it's a little beat up, and it's a little smushed. I mean, it was probably had a bunch of boxes sitting on top of it. So, but still, really cool to see. Really cool. I'm not going to go into any particular order, but I do have a lot to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and just try my best to get through it. I have a game called Paladin. Now, my collecting software only had Paladin 2. I don't know why they didn't have Paladin. But Paladin exists. It's right here. I have a copy of it. And it looks interesting. I mean, it's just right up my alley. Check this out. The glue has come off of the sticker. I mean, easy fix, but geez. That's crazy. That's crazy. But look, I mean, it's got all the stuff, and this box is in great shape. It's even got the proof right here, so, I mean, I got the end of one sheet of when they printed this. But this is what I'm talking about, right? Back in the day, not everybody could afford a box like this, where it could just, you know, come apart like this. So, look at that. That's amazing. I can't wait to install this stuff and actually boot up these programs. I think that's going to be really fun to do. That's Paladin. I got the Three Stooges. From my understanding, this is actually a little bit difficult to find. Nice little slipcover, by the way. And the slipcover's in great shape, considering its age. Yes, there you go. 2 discs on this guy. Don't know if I'll play this one anytime soon, but so cool to have. Ah, Sierra. This is the Amiga version of Heroes Quest. Oh, I love. I mean, this is so heavy, guys. This is ridiculously heavy. Fighter, magic user, and thief. It's so amazing. I love it. I love it. Nice, big, fat box. So heavy. Let me make sure. Look at this. Look at this. Correspondence school. Oh my god. So great. Reference card. Technical and game manual. And then look at this. Let's see. Disc 1 of 5, 3 of 5, 4, 2, and 5 of 5. Excellent. They're all here. 10th anniversary of Sierra. That's neat. I love it. I love it. And I need to not do that if I want to continue to love it. Fantastic. Love the cover art too. Reminds me of Heroescape. Love it. So good. This one's pretty cool. Sinbad and the Throne of the Falcon. Also the Amiga version. I mean, do you see how in great shape these are? Those graphics. So good. It's easier to make generic boxes like this, right? With this type of cover on it. It's definitely interesting. So, it's got the manual. It's got all of the 2 discs that are in here, along with some pamphlets and even registration cards. I'm being careful not to show them until I am absolutely sure that the gentleman's name who used to own this doesn't have his information posted. I got Sinbad here, and it looks great. Goodness. And we've just scratched the surface, guys. I have so much. Oh god. Okay. Alright. More pinball. Power pinball. Very basic looking box from KarmaSoft. I mean, if that doesn't scream Windows 95 pinball, I don't know what does. But it's for the Amiga. So, then we get into really cool stuff. Or what I think is really cool. How about some SSI? Does anybody like SSI? Strategic Simulations Incorporated? They make a lot of RPGs. Now this is an Apple version of Rings of Zilfin. Now this takes us back a little bit, so you're going to notice a dip in graphics quality. But you got to consider, this is for the Apple II. And what a great looking box from SSI. Look at that. 5 1/4 inch floppy. If you've never seen one, now's your chance. I can't believe I almost said that. That's what a 5 1/4 inch. Why do we call it a floppy disk? Well, it's actually floppy. It's not hard plastic, it's a floppy. Oh man, I definitely remember these. Love it, love it, love it. Let's take a quick look at the manual. I'm trying to hurry, guys, but I get enchanted by this stuff so much. I apologize. Look at all that. Look at all of those. Oh, I'd love to own every single one of those. That would be amazing. See if it's color. Look at that. That's so good. So good. It is in fact in, you know, at least 2-tone color. Red and blue. That's great. Fantastic. Excellent stuff. I am in love. And see, I know I'm old, I get it. But I don't remember a whole lot in the way of role-playing games for this system because I was very young when I owned this system. When it was current gen, I was less than 10 years old, we'll say that. So stuff like this, it was a little above my head at the time. Now I get to finally play this stuff and realize what I've been missing out on. And this? Gemstone Warrior? Also, 5 1/4 floppy. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. Remember how I said I wanted all of these? Well, I got a lot of them. Fantasy. The very first Fantasy. Also with 5 1/4 floppy. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. I cannot wait to set everything up and actually play these. Here's something from Epix. You typically see this name on Atari 2600, or at least that's where I know them from. This is called Jumpman. Jumpman beginner levels. Interesting. Very interesting. Don't know a whole lot about this game. Yeah, so Apple II, this is a prime example. Apple II, they typically had monochrome monitors. So it was either orange or it was that spinach-colored green monitor, like you saw on a lot of the AS400 machines. So black and white or something like that. I'm not surprised to see screenshots like that, but it's so cool to have games like this. This I love. Look at that art. That's so good. Dragon's Eye. Complete catalog of games. Very quickly need to make sure. Okay. There we go. Check that out. Enclosed disk is a 13-sector diskette. Users of 3.3 DOS must follow the special instructions in your Apple II DOS manual for booting a 13-sector diskette into your system. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Look at that. So it's kind of a... I love this. But he who accepts this challenge must come armed with a PET and cassette 32K or Apple and disc 48K. What? Do we know? Here is the instructions how to load this game. That's great. That is fantastic. There you go. Just in case anybody was wondering how in the world you gotta load it. You pause the video there, and then we get to the actual game, which is here. Let's see, we got the manual, which is actually kind of thick. Look at that. Love it, love it, love it. Warranty card, all sorts of stuff. This is great. I just think this is wonderful. Wow. I'm so happy. I am so happy I got all of this. Oh, so one of my favorite companies from the early 90s, if you know me, then you're gonna know who this is. It's from Origin Systems Incorporated. They are the creators of the Ultima franchise, so Ultima 1 through however many they created, plus Ultima Online, my favorite video game of all time. And anything that's Origin related, you know, even if it's Wing Commander, which I'm not a huge fan of, that was made by Origin. Right? They found a kid, they hired him, he made this game, it was incredible. Not anything like they'd been creating. So, Tangled Tales is a game for the Apple II, made by Origin, and I would love to collect everything Origin related. Now, will I ever get my hands on the Calabas? No, I don't think so. It's just, I mean, nowadays it's too easy to fake, right? I did get Fantasy 2 from SSI for the Apple. I love this stuff. So good. To have these complete boxes like this, makes me so happy. Look at that, colored manual. There's the disc. So good, so good. Love it. Look at that. This is actual color manual. Not the two-tone red and blue. One of these days, I will load this up and I will play it and I will have a very good time. Either that or I'm going to get very frustrated because of the lack of accessibility and ease of use. Oh goodness. Another Origin game, Mobius. Mobius. Now this came with something. I feel like it's one of those seatbelt covers, you know, that you put it like right here or something. I have no idea what this is. Not a clue. And no, I'm not going to open it. Interesting. Okay. There is... Oh yeah, yeah, this is a great... So you had a side A and a side B for these discs, and they contain different data. So pretty cool to have all that. So lots of Apple II stuff, and yep, none of these did I ever play growing up. So it's all new to me. I feel like I just got, you know, to me, it's as new to me as a PS5 is. All right, go here. Let's try this stuff. So we're probably looking at, so when it says Commodore 64 128 or Atari, what they're probably talking about, and I'm saying that with doubt and uncertainty, is it's probably an Amiga version. Or the Commodore Amiga. So Temple of Asphai? Ashphai? I got nothing. Huh. Well, I remember that joystick. Oh my god. It doesn't look like I have a manual here. Oh, it's empty. That's kind of disappointing. So a lot of these had copyright protection. And what I mean by that is, when you boot up the game, it might ask you to go into the manual itself and type in the third word of the fourth paragraph on this particular page, and that's what they did for copyright protection. I hope this isn't one of those, because I don't have the manual. Oh, it looks like Gauntlet. How adorable. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Legend of Farragal. Farragale. Also the Amiga version. And these slip covers, though. Love it. There you go. Looks like a more text adventure than anything else, and I'm okay with that. With all of the stuff you would expect from a big box PC game. There's the Amiga reference card. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, I'm so happy to have all this stuff in my collection. It's so good. Right. World-class leaderboard pro golf simulator. Okay. Cool. I mean, sometimes you just gotta branch out, right? I mean, that's definitely better graphics. Let's see when this was created. 1988? 1988. Back then, we were playing golf on the NES. I mean, consider the time that this was created versus what we had in home consoles. I mean, it's pretty drastic of a difference, you know? Questron 2 for the Amiga. Short and sweet. One of the games that I watched my brother, I did not play this much growing up, but I remember just having an absolute blast watching my brother play this. It was so cool. It was like him telling me a story when we were growing up, and it just so happens to be Populous by Electronics Arts. Now, we typically played this particular... Look at this. That's cool. Handwritten note. So good. He's clearly had one owner. But Populous is the God Sim, where you would terraform the planet and unleash disasters upon your enemies, etc. And fight with your tribes, etc. Oh, it's so good. We played this probably on Windows 3.1 machines, on my Hewlett Packard from back in the day. That's where I remember mostly us playing games like this. So really happy to add that to my collection. Good old Shanghai. Everybody has to own a Shanghai game, right? But Shanghai for the Amiga. That's interesting. Now this is interesting. This actually has a little bit of a clamshell thing to it. Kind of a different packaging from Activision. There it is. That's interesting looking cut. They're mold. But I mean, it holds the disc pretty well, so I guess it works. Alright then. That's cool, Activision. That's Shanghai. Got this little game, Englewood. The Amiga. There's the disc. I said there's the disc. Good grief, there it is! Love it. Look at these graphics. I mean, this box is so glossy. It's so hard to... I mean, look at that shine. Oh my god. Such a glossy box. Good grief. Oh, and who... I mean, if you can't own a Hoyle game from Sierra, I don't know what's going on. But everybody has to own a Hoyle game, right? You see why they created these types of boxes with this type of print on it? You've seen this before in this video, just because it was cheaper. Just cheaper to do it this way. There it is. And same exact art on the discs as well. Good grief. You gotta love the advertisement down here. Runs great on laptops. Sure does. Sure does. Oh, goodness. Now, what kid in the 90s, you were anywhere between 8 and 15 years old, didn't love the games of Leisure Suit Larry? Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. This is one of the first games ever created that actually had Leisure Suit Larry in it. And oh my god. Good grief. This was our entertainment back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, and it's probably still very entertaining to play even today. Media for the Amiga. A very short, stubby little box. But it works. No? I don't know anything about this game. I swear that looks like Marble Madness. What do I know? Huh! Star Games in Tampa, Florida. Now this is a sticker. I don't know if you guys can see that. I wonder what it says behind there. I'm not gonna mess with it, but that's cool. I was living in Tampa at the time this was created. I didn't know we had a games company right there. Now this looks so familiar. Genesis game? I don't remember. Ballistics for the Amiga. Another, I mean, they're the same size, right? Making sure. Okay. Now, this is obviously. Really? We're just gonna put an insert for 2 cassettes. Wow. We'll just throw this in there and call it good, huh? Excellent. I bet you this is how it came from the company, too. Wonderful. Thanks, Psygnosis. Appreciate you. Good for you. There you go. Little top-down adventure game. The Wizardry franchise. You know, in all my years of playing video games, I've never touched a Wizardry game. And I own more than a lot of Wizardry games already. Still haven't played one. I need to get on that. And from my understanding, I mean, you don't make this many games and have them not be good. So look at how many discs there are, my goodness. But look at all the stuff that you get. Oh my god. Check out this. The size of this freaking book. Oh my god. Help! Charts upon charts. This is oh, they give you graph paper to map out your own dungeons. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. That's so cool. I know. It's a dork pocket. Yep, it's true. Happily a dork. More Amiga. Oh, we're getting into the stuff that I'm really excited about. How about Test Drive? The original Test Drive from Accolade. How cool is that? How cool is that? This is another one that's really light in material. That's it. That's all it came with. So let me double check and... Okay, so there's the manual. Let me see what this is. Oh. Nice little pamphlet for an advertisement. This is the best produced thing. Right? The manual's in black and white, but man, their advertisements are in full color, glossy paper, etc., etc. Look at these controls. Any WASD computer users? Oh no, it's DMS Control R, P, O, and B. What? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. There it is. Kind of light. Love it. Curious to see if the packaging for some of these games is the same in the UK as it is here in the United States. I would imagine that we have some differences. Old 3D pool from Microplay, the Amiga. Oh yeah, they definitely went all out on the 3D. I mean, you got to think, you know, back in, it doesn't give me a quick date to see, and terrible. Back in the day, this was kind of revolutionary, right? 3D graphics, what? Crazy. Or 2D or nothing. Did I have 3D? That was kind of a big deal, and you were allowed to put that 3D pool, 3D golf. Because it meant something back then, you know? Dungeon Master. Kind of like VR means something today. You know, VR is crazy. What? There is Dungeon Master. This is purchased from Babbage's, a game store that I used to visit quite often back in the day. Thank you for the Amiga keyboard controls. It looks like there was something else that was supposed to be on here. Either that or they just hand ripped it. Had a perforated edge. Kind of interesting. And it's very thick manual here. Unfortunately in black and white, and it's practically a story. I don't know what that is. Let me check that real quick and I will get back to you. Goodness. Look at that. What is this? This feels like a sticker. Oh, it is. Faster than light. No. No. It is the company that made this game. Pretty freaking cool. Interesting little box configuration here, so that's where everything goes, but I think they want me to put the disc right there. That's just kind of a nice little protector, which I appreciate. Oh, did I show you the screenshot? I don't remember if I did or not. Look at that, an inventory management system, what? How crazy. Definitely worth putting a gigantic screenshot on the back. More SSI, anybody? Now this is for the IBM compatible PC games. Prophecy of the Shadow from SSI. It's on 5 1/4-inch floppy. Oh, the gold box stuff. Neverwinter Nights. This one's kind of light. Yep, we're good there. Okay. Pretty freaking awesome, man. 5 1/4-inch floppy. It requires a hard drive and high-density 1.2 megabyte disk drive. Runs on 286, 386, and 486 machines. It requires 640K of RAM. 640K of RAM. That was a lot back then. VGA support. Hey, it was worth mentioning that because EGA, the differences between EGA and VGA are quite large. Quite large. All right. I'm gonna need to clear off some space. So many new games. I'm so happy. Getting these into my database was a gigantic pain. So well worth it, in my opinion. All right. Please. I'm trying to hurry, believe it or not. How about the Bard's Tale? Bard's Tale 3 for the Amiga. Keep of Fate. Another series that I just haven't played yet. Ah, no, I'm sorry. It looks right up my alley, too. I need to play it. I'm just going to go ahead and keep moving right along because there is some stuff that I would like to unbox for you guys that's really, really special. And I can't wait to show you guys that. The Grand Prix circuits. I'm looking for Test Drive. Test Drive, I really want that. This game was impossible to find, and it's from Spectrum Holobyte. But Solitaire Royale apparently just doesn't exist. Despite the fact that I have proof that it exists, I could not find it in my collector's database. Monty Python's Flying Circus version. This is interesting. Sorcerer Lord. That actually looks really fun to me. But, you know, I'm just me. I'm me. I guess I own Commander Keen now. Which, I don't know what this came from. I'm guessing some sort of magazine or something. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe it didn't. $5. Yeah. Good old Commander Keen. Uh-huh. Chamber of the Sci-Fi Mutant Priestess. Great. Hey. Cool. Alright then. Looks... I'm not interested in this at all. I'm sorry, I can't even pretend. Let me show you something that I am interested in, though. And that I actually played on the Amiga that I now own. Gauntlet 2. Let me tell you, you try playing this game with a mouse. Bad. It's so bad. You need a joystick. You need a joystick. But we didn't have everything set up. So, look at this box and how it's so weird. Good old Gauntlet 2. It plays just like Gauntlet 2. So, this was the test game that we used to make sure that everything was working okay. So, good old Gauntlet 2. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've saved the best for last. Is typical for somebody like me. Guys, this is the primary reason why I made this trade. But then it got better. And I'm pretty sure that Nick from Retroid Games and Records was not aware of what was really inside these boxes, and I don't think he's gonna care one way or another. Not to say that it's not important to him as well. It adds no actual value to the game from a monetary standpoint. But let me tell you something. When a video game collector gets a hold of something, at least from my experience, anything that I've collected, if it's got a backstory for that exact piece, then I would like to hear a little bit about it. You know? So it was a true pleasure to go through all of these boxes and uncover the previous owner's history with the game. There's a lot of handwritten notes in here. There's a lot of particular things that he might have purchased or gotten as a result of playing this game, and it shows a history of these types of products. I hate to sound like an old person, but I really want to say they don't make them like they used to. Let me just show you, and I'm going to start with the very first one that I have. It's Ultima 3 Exodus. This is the Amiga version of Ultima 3, made by Origin Systems Incorporated, of course. And this particular version of Ultima, I have to be very careful because there are quite a few references to the previous owner, and his address and whatnot. So I'm going to be very careful when showing this stuff to you guys. I'm sorry if it's going to take a little bit longer, but I respect other people's privacy. So I start going through all of this stuff. Look at this. It's so awesome. It's incredible. The Book of Play. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. There you go. Look at this thing. I have to read that? Like what? You kidding? What in the world? Look at that. He beat the game in 251,968 moves on September 30th, 1990. That, to me, speaks wonders about the human that used to own this physical copy. So you start to think, who is this guy that played this and kept such meticulous, detailed record of what he did during his adventures, right? I know, I'm probably the weird one here, and I totally get it. But, I don't know, I think that's really, really, really cool. Look at this cloth map. Wow. That's so incredible. So good. Look at how much stuff is in this freaking box. Oh my god. I mean, you see what I mean about like, just all of the stuff that came in one box for one game that cost $50. That's so good. I mean, I feel like I got the deluxe edition without having to pay for a deluxe edition. No, it looks like he tore this off, like the registration. But this person was very into the Ultima series as well, which I think is really freaking cool. Nice little quick reference card for the types of commands that you can do in this game. Love it. Love everything about this. Everything. It's so good. And this will forever stay in there. I think that is so cool. So cool. What a great addition to my collection. This is just something that I'm just going to cherish forever. This is so cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's got a personal history. I mean, somebody actually went through and beat this game and took meticulous notes and used every bit of this. This is what it was designed for, is for somebody to consume the material as much as this person did. And that's just so cool to me. So cool. I love it. I love it. But then we go to this. We go to Ultima 4. Now, please note, this is the Apple II version. Okay, we got the Amiga version of Ultima 3, and we got the Apple II version of Ultima 4, right? Okay, so I have to do a bit of shenaniganery here, because we got personalized information right there under that box. Don't worry, I'm going to show what I can to you about that. But look at this, player reference card. Errata, I think they... Either it's fallen apart or this is errata. I can't tell. I'm pretty sure I would become poisonous if I actually took that out of the bag. Look at that. Subscription to the Wizard's Journal. Look how much Ultima 1, 2, and 3 costs. And look, you can order it for Apple II or Apple IIe. Atari 800 or 1200, IBM PC Disk, or Commodore 64. And it didn't matter which version. They had a price. That's cool. Look at this book. Wow. That's so good. Wow. Too cool. Yet another cloth map. 2 discs. Remember, this is the Apple II version. Nice cloth map. Wow. Love it. Absolutely love it. I really hate about that the forgery stuff that's going on with certain copies of Ultima. Free of Britannia. I mean, look how much you could consume of the game without actually playing in the game itself. I mean, that was one of the fond memories that I have as a kid. You know, you get a new game and you tear the box open and read the manual on your way home. You know? All right. So this part right here that's underneath this, I'm gonna have to find a creative way to. Let's just do this real quick. Just trying to protect the gentleman's identity. So please understand that I don't want to. I mean, I haven't gotten permission to release his information or anything like that. I don't know the guy in person. I probably never will. This is a mailed letterhead, and if you look here, it says March 1st or March 11th, 1986, from New Hampshire, which is where Origin Systems Incorporated used to belong. When I saw this, I had no idea what this was, and you know, maybe I thought it was errata or something like that you had to get a fix for. And inside this envelope, there is a gigantic, you know, the product catalog. It explains a whole bunch of different games to you with screenshots, etc., which is really cool, you know. But then there was this. Now, how am I going to do this? Let's see if I can't very quickly. What I have in front of me, and I apologize for only showing you part of it, is a mailed out letter signed by Lord British, aka Richard Garriott himself. And what it says, I'll read it out loud. I'll omit the person's name, but I'll read it out loud for you. Be it known to all present that player's name has attained the state of avatarhood. Having viewed the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom through the exercise of the 8 virtues of the Avatar, I, Lord British, commend thee for thy honesty, compassion, valor, thy sense of justice, thy sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and humility. May thou live the rest of thy life as thou hast lived through this journey. So, this was mailed to him, likely because they had some sort of, if you mail proof of completion of this game, I will send you a personally signed letter congratulating you. As a matter of fact, I think I remember seeing that in one of Richard Garriott's interviews that he's done. And I, you know, obviously he doesn't do that anymore now, but the fact that I have this in my hand is not just proof to what Richard Garriott did for his customers, but also proof that wasn't it cool that back in the day we could look forward to something like that. And this gentleman actually did this. When I saw this, I actually got really excited about the previous owner. And, you know, obviously I have his address and I have his name and whatnot. And I thought to myself, you know, this guy has the exact same taste in games that I do. So, why don't I see, because, you know, the address is kind of close to me. Why don't I see if I can't get this guy and interview him? I'd love to hear his side of how much time and effort he spent into these games, and maybe why he got rid of these games, why he doesn't own these games anymore. You know, what made him change his mind? Maybe he'd like to talk about these games because they obviously meant so much to him before. and a very quick Google search on the person's name, and he's no longer with us. And I didn't know him. I've never known him. But cancer sucks, and I'm guessing that the family didn't have a way to remember this person through his video games. But I will. Makes me sad. But it's still cool for me to have this stuff in my collection. And this stuff will never leave. Also, it's Ultima. How cool is that? All this from the same person, so he also owned Ultima 6? Wait, I skipped the number. Dang it. Ultima 6. This is for IBM PC. So, I don't know. I don't know why. Look at this. My goodness. Goodness. More cloth maps. Look at that. Ultima now on Nintendo Entertainment System. That's freaking cool. That's really neat. I bet this was a great moment of pride for Richard Garriott to have something like that. How cool is that? Goodness. That has got to be the thickest rule book or clue book I've ever seen. Oh, I have handwritten. Hang on. Oh, look at that. You know, sometimes it takes a lot of effort to play one of these games. So thank you to that gentleman. That is amazing, and the fact that he kept this. That's so cool. I love it. Well, it looks like I do have a piece of... Oh no, I think the book is just falling apart? Oh, no. This is the Clue Book update, so it is errata. That's cool. Just crazy stuff. I mean, I love it. Look how many discs that is for IBM. I don't know how I'm going to get a 5 1/4 inch floppy for an IBM PC. Good grief. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So I apologize for skipping one, Ultima 5. This is the Apple II version with a nice little coin. He called customer service. Goodness. Wonder why. Yeah, he also ripped this off and sent it in. That's cool. This guy was very, very interested in continuing to enjoy these games for quite some time. Ultima 5 t-shirts? Dude, I would wear one right now. I would wear that today. Absolutely. Look how incredibly amazing they look. Good grief. I'm not kidding though, I would totally wear that today. More cloth maps. Look at these freaking cloth maps. You know, for... Uh-oh. Bit of stickiness? Okay, we're good. For an Apple II game, I had no idea there was ever an Apple II game that came out with a cloth map for crying out loud. Look at that. Britannia, Trinsic, U is up there. Oh man, I miss this game. Really freaking cool. Front is the castle, back is the keep. Okay. Interesting. Just really cool stuff, man. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Complete Ultima 7. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm just gotta get that receipt out. It has the signature on it. From 1992 or 1993. Don't have any personalized information. Doesn't look like it. Nope. It is an electronics boutique for EB Games. Games and Gadgets. In 1994. We bought this for $49.99. The box got bigger, the contents got smaller. Interesting. And just to show you what I'm talking about, here's Ultima 5. The box got bigger, the number of discs got smaller, the contents got smaller. Figures, right? Really cool to have all of these added to my collection. These guys are some of my holy grails. You know? Just because it's a series that I truly like. And a series that I enjoy. And yeah, it kind of sucks that they're like some are IBM, some are Amiga, some are Apple. That does kind of suck. But it's still really cool to have these in my collection. And I am overjoyed to have all of these in my collection. I can't wait to set all this stuff up to show you guys. And again, I apologize for keeping you guys in the dark for however long to try and put this video together. It was a lot to go through, you know? It was a lot to try to sort out, to get into the database. And I know even Nick, I've seen him a couple of times since we made this trade, and he's like, dude, when are you going to put out the video? Sorry! There's a lot going on. But I'm glad that I was able to make the trade. And I appreciate Nick for being patient with me, for working with me, and for at least agreeing to sell it back to me if he ever decides to get rid of it. I wouldn't mind having that back in my collection. Although, where the kiosk was is now the going to be my retro computing area. So when I get it back, I'm going to have to figure something out, and quick. So anyway, that'll do it for today. Again, I am sorry for the delay. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week, where I just came back from a Raleigh Retro Trade event. I have also gotten plenty of games in the mail. I also got a mod done on one of my consoles. I can't wait to show that to you. And I also have just a ton of games that I still need to show you. So tune in next week, and hopefully you'll like what you see. I even got gifts sent to me from a longtime viewer and whom I consider to be a good friend from the UK. So I can't wait to show you guys all of that. So until next time, thank you so very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. You guys take care. Bye.